Right? At this point, Mau ceases to exist, by the way. They're now FMU. So this revolution would not have taken place.
Having two factions for journalists, it puts journalists in a dilemma.
Sika people are organizing. They have a calendar, an event on this Sunday, and the very day we have also an event in Garuga.
When you report for one faction, the other one will get annoyed.
It could really give us headache. Where should you go to cover?
We were going to lose the Africa Championship title, or we were just going to participate if both sides had not united. If both sides had not united.
What was perceived as a misunderstanding was a small in-house settlement that went wild, but needed people to put their minds together and agree or disagree, because it's all about the sport. And I can say finally what was anticipated and longly been waited, it has happened.
The misunderstandings are always there. They will never end. But the way you solve those misunderstandings is what matters. This revolution would not have taken place if some of the issues addressed were addressed in time. This is a fantastic thing. It's a very historical moment. I did not come in. Their grievances they had were very genuine, but they were with the previous administrators, not me. So as Dipu and my team at FMU and my ex-com and everybody who has supported us, we have come out, and I think Mau leadership, we have won. All of us have won. Mau, FMU, kids, the sport, I think basically the motocross has won this.
This means a lot. We are very happy. By the way, it doesn't only mean a lot here in Uganda. When I shared with my colleagues on the FIM Africa Commission, the excitement all over Africa was the biggest, because everyone knew now we can showcase what motocross is, we can showcase Uganda. But good enough, the unity means we put up a strong team for Uganda, and it is we are all excited. Everyone is excited. That's why we decided we are not going to look at yesterday. We are now focusing on where we need to be as a sport. We are looking at the future.
It's always really very awkward to cover a sport that has loopholes throughout. People don't unite. People are always in wrangles. We are not also used to covering only negative stories. Always you bring negative stories. We want to see positive stories.
Always the decision the administrators make affect the athletes a lot. So I think the unification is good for all the parties in motorsport.
The English have a saying, reconciliation is the best form of revenge. At having varying parties unite for the good of sport is a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation.
The integrity of a man comes from standing by his word. So once they stand by their words that has taken place here, then everything is very okay and it's good for the sport.
Possibly that is the one of the grey areas where there was no agreement on paper.
There was no documentation for separation, I would say that. So as it was a word of exchange and a word of antagony that rubbed and put on a bushfire, it's the same way, and we hope in the most decent way. The people that were engaged and the third parties that fueled all this happening are now not having anything to say, but to embrace and nurture the sport growth.
We can't tell what happened in the boardroom. Secondly, there's an upcoming event for the Africa Championship, which is going to benefit the athletes more than even the two factions.
The two leaders, you've seen, they've taken it from their hearts. I've told you that the moment everybody agreed that Uganda is bigger than us and motorsport is bigger than us, now we consider the interests of motorsport rather than our own. So we are now fronting the interest of the sport rather than what we need as individuals. So we are now in a position where we can agree on everything. Agreeing means you can agree to disagree even if you are not in favor of a decision, but you move with it since we've agreed to. work together.
At this point, Mau ceases to exist, by the way. They're now FMU. So how we are going to integrate riders from Busika to be part of the Team Uganda?
Prior to this coming together, we had selected a team. We selected it through participation in the first 5 national championships. But now with unity, we are now looking at Uganda. As I told you, now Uganda is bigger than all of us, and the sport is bigger than all of us. So all of us are now looking at fielding a strong team. So we are reviewing the team right now. We are going to pick riders who have been there, but good ones who have not been in the national championship. So what I want to assure is that we're going to pick the best, and the team we have has a lot of odds to win this championship.
We all look up to see how successful this is going to be. Is just about the event that is coming up for the film, or to be really standing strong and we see the sport winning the way they have been talking the stakeholders.
The issue which I saw is that having 2 events at the same time on the different venues, and then denying the younger athletes room to participate in the different arenas. They're now back, so there's no more unsanctioned events. Even if you want to have an event in Busika, get the blessings from your federation, and the federation will support it. And then you can have so many more riders instead of the usual number they have had. You can add another 60 riders from FMU side.
The most important thing will be who will stage which event, which is one of the, personally I think it is one of the key factors that led to this unity, especially sharing the proceeds from the gate collections.
Busika is back to being one of our tracks again. Our riders are bored of riding in Garuga. Their riders are bored of riding in Busika. We have Gomba, which is soon coming up. We have Arua. We have Kasanja in Entebbe. So very soon we are going to have almost 6 tracks. So I think it will be more exciting for these riders.
It is a win for journalists as well, because it will be unifying the sport and there will be no factions between the journalists themselves.
Now I feel we can have a good team to take this title again for the second time. But most important, this should be a learning lesson to both sides, especially the federation, and a journey of a transition to the independency of motocross should be started with immediate effect. Because if they don't do that, the same revolution will happen again after certain years, and we would be making strides behind instead of going forward.
Let me put this right. We didn't lose. We only lost on human resource capacity build-up. We would have been farthest away from the 2.5 years rift. And I can say it wasn't a sweet win home when we had the first round win of the Fmu Africa Eastern Central African Motocross Championship. But since we are now together, we don't see Kenya beating us for the last round in December.
The track is about 90% done. Right now we are just touching up the jumps, the start area to put it as per the specifications, to work on the start gates. These things don't need too much time. We shall be ready by the time of the event. That's on the weekend of 19th to 22nd, so we are ready.
The future of motorcycling in Uganda is very bright, because at least in every class we have a top racer who can compete at the international level and even win us medals. So that is why I have now the confidence that the Africa title can remain in Uganda again.
We've on the past editions that came ahead after 2012, we've come in as in the top 4, and now since we have the chance and the leverage to host again, then we definitely needed to unify, to have a victory, a togetherness victory, and I so much believe all is well and all can be happening. So we still have the numbers, and of course winning the continental championship all needed numbers, and so if you have all the numbers, then we are much, unless anything happens above our means, we are much positive that we shall have turned out victor with the unification of all sides.
Yes, Centam is very ready for FIM, which we are only counting days or weeks to come over. Though currently he's doing his mocks, he's in senior 4, but he's finishing up on Saturday. From Saturday, he's going to be camping in Rusika to have thorough training to prepare for FIM.
Yeah, we are going to do film because we got our holidays last week on Wednesday, and we have just been working so hard on ourselves, the bike. My coach has been putting a lot into it, my mechanic and everyone. I thank the team for the support, so we are going to just do all our best and hope to get the top 10 in film.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much.
Top 10 in film.